Deck the halls with news and goblins, fa la 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 la. Collect nerd news like bees with pollen, fa la 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 la. Don we now our mics and headphones, fa la 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 la. Sending sounds to your tiny ear bones, fa la 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 la. Welcome everybody. This is Jared.
This is Leslie.
Leslie made lots of faces at me.
I would like credit for being very good. I let you do that whole thing.
You were giving me angry eyes.
No, I was delighted.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Jared.
Happy whatever day this is.
This would be Monday.
Nope.
It's Sunday now, but it's going to be Monday. We're trying to do some podcast magic. Go with me.
Okay. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
What are we doing today?
We're going to talk about some nerd news.
Woo!
Woo!
That's what we do here. I actually have stuff today.
You actually have more stuff than I do.
Okay, the tables have turned.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the shoe is on the other foot. The bacon is in the other skillet. That's an expression. Do you want to go first? You're looking at me like that again.
You're just having fun over there. I'm just letting you play in this space.
I feel judgment eyes.
Maybe. So my quick space update. Let's start with space this time.
Space update.
So last time we talked about how SpaceX's Dragon was using some recycled parts to go up.
SpaceX has a Dragon?
Dragon is the name of the ship.
Okay.
Was going up to the International Space Station. We talked about this literally last week.
Elon Musk, mother of dragons, got it.
Anyway, it made it. It docked with the International Space Station early Sunday morning.
Sexy.
And it'll be there for 3 weeks, supplying them with stuff.
Dragon juice.
Hopefully Christmas cookies. I hope they get some Christmas cookies. And or Hanukkah munchies. I messed that up.
Hanukkah munchkies.
Hanukkah munchies. Yeah. So that's exciting that everything went well. No hitches. And
well, good. So this was the rocket that they were reusing?
Yes.
All right. Awesome.
So very cool.
So this has implications for the cost of space travel in general.
Well,
right?
yeah. The cost and the accessibility. Like, if you have to make a space shuttle every time, then only certain companies can do it.
Huh.
Yeah.
But if you own a dragon with magical powers, like the great warlock, Elon Musk.
Missing the point.
Mother of dragons.
Elon Musk does sound like a warlock name.
I, Elon Musk, summon the space dragon. Bring me your technology, space worm. Yeah, I can picture this.
Exactly.
That's what they teach you to do at Oxford.
That's exactly what happened.
Actually, I don't know if he went to Oxford.
I think he did.
Stanford? I feel like he went to Stanford for a minute.
Why don't you do your news and I will Google
Oh, no.
it.
No, you stay engaged with me. I know you. You're going to play on Twitter.
What? No.
Elon Musk. I'm just going to stare at you.
Hi, Jared. We're slow. This is a very entertaining podcast we're making right now.
I'm not stalling. I think he went to like a place in Pennsylvania for a minute. He has a bachelor's and then he went to grad school for a second.
Accepted into Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario for undergraduate study.
Yep, that's what I said.
In 1992, after spending 2 years at Queen's University, Musk transferred to the University of Pennsylvania.
There we go.
In May 1997, received a Bachelor of Science.
Where he focused on dragon studies.
Also received a Bachelor of Science degree in economics from its Wharton School of Business.
And a certificate in winged serpents of the outer dark.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, well, yay, SpaceX.
He also took 5 years to do his undergraduate. So there you go, guys.
Well, whoop-de-ding-dong a doodle-doo.
Yeah.
He did economics, didn't he?
Yeah, he also got a degree in economics from his Wharton School of Business.
Okay, so that's how he learned how to pay with dragon money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He learned what was valuable to the dragonkin.
Yeah.
And used that to hire one.
He also started a PhD in applied physics at Stanford, but left the program after 2 days.
Right. Because he found the arcane book of dragon
Right.
lore.
Under the walls of Stanford.
Yeah, and then he didn't need the school anymore.
He didn't. The power was his.
You know, I feel like we somehow have segued into one of the things I'm going to talk about.
Go on.
Have you seen any previews for Bright, the new movie coming on Netflix?
You know that I did, because you were sitting
that's
next to
right.
me in the restaurant when I saw the first one and was like, what?
Moments ago. Well, I had heard some rumblings about this on the interwebs a while ago, and it seemed like a joke. I mean, it sounds like a joke, the idea that Will Smith is a cop with an orc partner.
Well, here's the thing. I had seen something about this, but I saw it as a joke. Like, I saw a tweet that had a poster or an image for the show, but it was written in the subjective, like, wouldn't this be funny? So I thought someone had just photoshopped Will Smith into a weird thing, and it was like, oh yeah, haha, that would be funny. I didn't think it was a real show.
Yep, not a joke. It comes out December 22nd.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
So this is a Netflix exclusive movie, but
Have we said the title yet?
Bright.
Okay.
Mary and Bright. It's Bright.
Okay.
I don't know where the title comes from yet, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's just Bright.
It's probably the
Brighd.
name of one of the cops.
Yeah, probably. But it has a December 22nd release date, so next week, and it had a $90 million budget for this Netflix movie.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, holy shit.
Is it a movie or a series?
It's a movie.
It's just a movie.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I feel like this isn't Netflix first foray into filmmaking, but man,
Dang.
that budget,
That
it
is
seems
a
like
hell of a budget.
they are interested in just going head to head with Hollywood
Yeah, like
blockbusters,
let's
right?
just redo how we do movies.
I love it.
Hey, with Disney buying Fox,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to some competition.
Yeah, I mean, it's $90 million budget, December 22nd release date. So it takes place in an alternative present day, quote, in which humans, orcs, elves, and fairies have coexisted since the beginning of time. I love it. I love that idea.
That's great.
And
I love urban fantasy. Like, I keep seeing these stupid articles like urban fantasy is dead, we're moving on. No, it's not. We've barely begun to scratch the surface
Yeah.
of that genre.
well, what's fun about it? What I love about urban fantasy is all the things you can take at face value of things we already know.
Yeah.
You know, your big complaint about fantasy series where they have an animal that is clearly a rabbit, but they renamed it a Snorp just for the hell of it.
Right. It's a rabbit.
Yeah.
We all know what a rabbit is.
So this is the language of present day, except
Yeah. We've all agreed that some of the rules of physics and litigation and government and whatever, normal everyday is there. And it's a great framework to work in.
because it adds a lot of verisimilitude, I guess,
Yeah.
to help prop up the fantasy. Mm-hmm. So, but it's a buddy cop with him and an orc, and I think from what I've seen, he's the first orc police officer. So there's anti-orc racism at work here. I'm really fascinated by this thing. The screenplay was by Max Landis, so I don't know if you have read anything by him. He received a Forbes mention for 30 under 30 people to watch in entertainment. He's written for DC Comics. He wrote the series Superman American Alien in 2015. He has a new series coming, Superman Agent of Batman, that still has a release date to
I
be
made a
announced. He's also writing the screenplay for an upcoming remake of An American Werewolf in London, which...
That's news in and of itself.
I love American
That's
Werewolf
happening.
in London. I could dive down the rabbit hole of whether or not I think a movie that recent needs remake, but cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a trash fire, but if it's a trash fire, it's a pulpy trash fire, right?
Yeah.
So it's having fun.
I'm certainly willing to give it a big chance.
Here's a weird comparison, but the only thing that makes me nervous is I look at this premise and I think this is a fun, pulpy premise. This is going to be hard to screw up, the fun factor of this. But let me run a movie title by you. Cowboys versus Aliens.
Oh, God, good point.
That's
just a good point.
Yeah, so that was another premise I thought,
Yeah,
well,
how
they
did
can't
they
screw this
how
up.
did
This
they
is going to
screw
be
it up?
fun. And they did.
They did. They really did. They did a bad job.
But everything I have seen about this looks good. It seems like it's getting some good critical attention. I don't know. We'll see. But I like the idea of Netflix really jumping in with both feet into the filmmaking business.
I like
think
it, yeah.
That's a cool development.
We do also have to mention, because I think we're just going to mention it and sort of move on because we don't know everything it means, that Disney did purchase Fox, and that is a kind of big piece of nerd news.
Yeah, it very much is.
That may affect, I mean, the amount of things that could affect nerd-wise is so huge.
Yeah, one of my favorite observations is that we like to think that that Dr. Frankenfurter and the Rocky Horror Group are now Disney princesses.
My favorite actually was that the actress who played Kaylee in Firefly now insists that she's a Disney princess, I think that's great. I think that's
fair.
Perfect. So
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what this means in terms of creative properties. So we could have an X-Men, Avengers crossover now.
I mean, has there ever been historically a creative monopoly quite like this?
I don't know.
Like a monopoly of creativity? Of works?
Because the list is getting insanely long, right?
Yes.
I mean,
A blockbuster.
when Disney bought Marvel, it was like, oh, geez, wow. And now if they
That's
also
a lot.
absorb Fox, boy, yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to... I can't even predict if this is going to have a negative or positive effect overall on the creations because I don't even know what to compare it to. This sort of huge merger.
I mean, there's also sort of the political aspect of good or bad. What does it mean that one monolithic entity owns this much?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's almost always bad just for competition's sake.
Although, hey, as creative people, we often say, yeah, well, it's not like anybody has a monopoly on creating good new characters or stories.
It's true. It is true.
They own a huge chunk of the nostalgic past. That doesn't mean they own the future.
Amen.
But hey, it could be cool. I would like to see Wolverine. Well,
Kingdom Hearts is going to be banana pants now.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Wow. Just Spider-Man fighting alongside Goofy with a huge key sword. Mm-hmm. I'm on board for that.
Yep, I'm on board. Heaven knows Kingdom Hearts, could stand to get weirder.
True.
That was a joke, everyone.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Did you have another thing?
Yeah. So I thought we would just check in with Destiny 2.
Oh, let's check in on our shitty friend, Destiny 2.
The slow motion train wreck that is Destiny 2. So the last time we talked about Destiny 2, they were having all the trouble leading up to the expansion, but they still promised that the expansion was going to come out and everything would be great.
Yeah.
Everything was not great.
No.
So you had to buy the expansion, like most expansions. And a lot of players chose not to, especially since the game isn't that old. It's really only a couple months old. And if you're playing on PC, it's even younger than that.
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't buy the expansion. But what they found was they shut off a lot of the other content if you didn't buy the expansion.
Oh.
So stuff that you could do one day, you suddenly logged in and couldn't do it. And a lot of it was end game stuff. So if you wanted to complete the game, like if you wanted to do the story and move forward, you suddenly couldn't do the end of it.
Yikes.
And apparently, I did not know this was something that Bungie did in Destiny 1. Like, they had this same exact issue.
Oh, so this shouldn't be a surprise.
This should not be a surprise. They should have been completely prepared for this. So changes were implemented to quote-unquote fix it, but not before the game's ratings were completely pulverized on multiple places.
I have noticed that several times looking in the Microsoft Store on Xbox that it's got like 2 stars at the moment.
Yeah, it's just continuously going down. So Bungie needs... I'm not even sure what Bungie needs to do to win back players at this point. They've done a really good job of alienating them.
I don't know. They never had me, so... They're going to have to win me in the first place.
I wanted to love them.
I know you did.
It was set up as a game I should love.
Yeah.
And they just fumbled the ball pretty solidly.
Well, thank you for that update from the front lines of the shit war. I have a video game thing.
Yeah.
A very different video game thing. This is kind of old news, but I want to mention Cuphead.
Yeah.
Which I'm a bit of a latecomer to, but it's
still news. I know video game news moves at the speed of light.
Yeah.
But let's remember that just a couple years ago, you would learn about a game a year later and it would still be considered a new game.
Yeah, true. I mean, what can I say about this? No part of this screamed to me that, Jared, this is the game for you. I mean, I typically like huge open world sandboxy RPGs. You know, the opposite of what Cuphead is. Cuphead is a indie run and gun platformery kind of game with a 1930s vibe. Its full title is Cuphead Don't Deal with the Devil. And it's just lovingly done. I mean, what I love about it is it's got hand-drawn cell animation. It's got watercolor backgrounds, original jazz compositions. So they didn't just do a theme of the 1930s. They also used the technique of the 1930s.
I mean, it does. I think the word lovingly is, it was lovingly done. Just so much attention to detail. I'm terrible. I can't even play it. Like, you saw, I couldn't even get past the first, the first carrot thing.
I know. I play it and I think, man, I think 8-year-old Jared would have kicked this game's ass, but the skills have really atrophied in me.
That's not what games are anymore. But it's so refreshing to kind of go back.
That's kind of what I wanted to say. It's reminding me that video games as a medium, they can do a whole bunch and they can scratch a lot of itches. You know, they don't have to be your Destiny 2s or your high budget things. They can be little works of art. And I'm not always in the mood for a huge immersive, Fallout 4 game. Sometimes I just want to fight a giant evil carrot in order to claim his soul for the devil.
That's actually kind of why I like Overwatch. You can pop in and out of it.
Right, yeah. The little indie game Overwatch, yeah.
The tiny indie game.
No, I know what you're saying. It's the same kind of thing. I will play quick play Overwatch, and I do it because it's, I don't know, it's almost that old arcade.
Oh, yeah, I think that's fair.
Satisfaction. You go in, you're not reading a novel, you're reading a comic book. You're getting a little burst of pleasure.
Yeah.
A little squirt of serotonin, as they say. Nobody says it. I'm sorry, everyone. I'd like to apologize.
Yeah, no one accepts your apology.
All right, then I double down. Yeah, so try Cuphead if you haven't tried it.
Cuphead. I mean, there's already Cuphead merchandise in Hot Topic.
Is there really?
Yes.
Oh.
I was in there for a Star Wars thing. Everybody, stop judging me.
Next to the Gute-Tama.
Speaking of Star Wars, let's address the elephant in the room. Jared and I both went to see Star Wars. In order to avoid spoilers and to get all of the content we want in, we will be doing a bonus episode later this week.
Yeah.
With all our Star Wars thoughts.
We want to talk about Star Wars a lot.
At length.
So we're just going to plop it off into another shorter bonus-ode.
So here's your News Goblin snippet. Star Wars is happening. You can now go see a Star War.
And we saw it confirmed.
Yes.
Okay.
Exists.
No spoilers.
Can I say one thing about Star Wars?
Okay.
Did not hate the Porgs.
No.
Did not hate them.
No, we
was
love
shocked.
the Porgs.
They were great.
Yeah, they have a great porganization.
How dare you?
If I had a cricket sound effect, I would have used it right then.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I have another thing, but I thought you had another thing.
I have two things.
Okay, hit me.
I mean, first of all, speaking of Overwatch, there's a winter event going on right now.
I know.
With new skins and sprays and Winnie poses and whatnot, and you can be a giant owl or a yeti. That's basically it. That's
succinctly said.
Yeah, there's not a lot there. Overwatch is having a winter event. It's cool. You can get new stuff.
I like the Roadhog skin. He's a big walrusy looking ice fisherman.
I like Anna's skin. She is a snow owl.
She is a cyborg snow owl.
I have a couple mains. The only one who got a new skin in this round was, Junkrat, but actually it's an old skin that just is now unlocked again. And I got it in my first loot box, so I'm pretty good. I'm done.
Yeah, I think my favorite skin is Sombra's. She's some sort of fey ice golem.
Yeah, she's great. I love all of the supernatural ones.
Yeah.
Like, I love Farah's ice golem one, too.
Yeah, fuck it. You're some kind of ice wizard.
Right.
Why not?
Why not? Okay. The other thing I had, which is also quick.
Well, hang on. When does that end? Because
when does it end?
This is important for me because there are some skins I need to get.
The first week of January.
Okay. All right. Wow, that's not a very long spread.
Their events are very short.
Okay, so this one is like December 12th to January 1st or something. Okay. Mm-hmm. Man, all right.
Yeah, so we got to get into grinding, I guess.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Sorry,
I'm going to get to gold. It's going to happen.
What was the other thing you were going to say?
Oh, my other thing is I had a quick update to our Death Stranding talks from last week. So there was an interview in which a little bit more gameplay stuff was revealed. And it actually seems like some of the gameplay was revealed in that last trailer.
Oh, good.
For instance, it opens up with that scene of the rain on the plants and they're sort of growing and dying at the same time. Mm-hmm. Apparently, there will be sort of a weather function in the game that has to do with time and either fast forwards or rewinds time, and that will affect gameplay. And this actually ties into what we were talking about earlier with Cuphead. It seems like the goal here is to create a continuous gaming experience that is not stopped by dying or failing. It simply changes the world when you do those things. So when he goes underwater, that's actually what happens when you quote unquote die. You just simply go into a different part of the game. So that underwater part is part of the game. It's like a purgatory level, basically.
I kind of dig that, where you make death just a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. That's the goal of this. And then, so like when he wakes up from the swimmy part, and there's a big hole, like a crater, that is him demonstrating that when you fail, so that little cutscene was him failing at something in the game. It will literally change the topography of the game.
Well, cool.
So whatever you could have accomplished there, you can no longer accomplish.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's sort of, it's a game. He's trying to create a gaming experience. And he was talking about how games still have this arcade feel. Yeah. Where there are attempts with a starting point and a failure point. And he didn't want that. He was trying to destroy that mechanic, which was sort of tied into when you put coins in a machine, and no longer made any sense.
Right, so non-linear stuff.
Yeah, so this is, no matter what happens, you're still playing a game.
Huh. Well,
Sounds
good.
awesome.
Yeah, because that kind of takes, if you're looking for an immersive narrative experience, I could see how a load screen coming up because you didn't do it right. Really screws up that whole aesthetic.
Yeah.
Although, if you died in it and there was just a little cutscene each time of Mads Mikkelsen, like in a leather chair, and he just turns around slowly and shakes his head and tells you why he's disappointed in you.
I could never stop playing. I don't want to make Mads disappointed.
Did you even try this time?
No, Mads, don't be disappointed. Mads, I love you.
Just words.
Mads, no.
Simple words. They mean nothing. My Mads Mikkelsen impression is kind of just a watered-down Werner Herzog impression.
Or possibly Schwarzenegger.
No, well, all right. That could be what I was doing.
Mads Mikkelsen is also disappointed in your accent.
I'm sorry, Mads. Avid listener to the show, Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen, if you're listening, be my friend.
We love you, Mads.
We love you so much.
Well, my last thing is really just kind of a shout-out. It's, well, let's call it what it is. It's Jared's Book Corner.
Jared's Book Corner.
Pages with words on them.
It's a book.
Yeah. Let's try to do that exactly every time I talk about a book. What are the chances? I wanna bring your attention to a new book I'm reading.
Oh.
It's called It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor. They are the co-writers of Nightvale, if they sound familiar to you. So, how much should I talk about? Nightvale is a podcast. You're listening to a podcast now. Nightvale is kind of a fictional serial with the premise of a community radio station for a lovely desert community full of ghosts and government conspiracies and black helicopters and vague but ominous government entities.
And tiny houses in boxes.
Yes. So this is a standalone novel. I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of a mystery with a theme of science versus faith, but in a real odd, tongue-in-cheek, weird fiction kind of way. But this thing is a standalone. So check out It Devours. You don't need to be a fan of Nightvale, but this kind of worked in reverse for me. I had listened to some Nightvale. I read the book and then got interested in listening to Nightvale some more. So if you find yourself in the position to do that, check out their website, and they have a little guide of how to onboard yourself because they have quite a few episodes. So they have kind of a best of list to I wanted to use the word indoctrinate, which really goes with the theme of Nightvale. But yeah, check it out. And if you like what? I want to call it comedy Lovecraft.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, so it's kind of a satirical, silly pants version of cosmic horror. So yeah, check it out. It Devours. It has a huge, toothy maw on the front. You can't miss it.
We picked it up at our local library.
All right, that's
cool.
all. That's all I have, homie.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks everybody for listening. Please give us a like and a follow on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, and especially give us a review on iTunes, our overlords.
All hail iTunes.
All hail iTunes. You can also email us at newsgoblins@gmail.com.
Okay, that's all. Everybody have a great week.
Yay!
Bye.